Hey y'all, so I wanted to show you my new Franken Stove setup for expedition sea kayaking. So first I'll show you what I have been using and then why I made a Franken Stove. You'll have to excuse the thunder in the background. There's a storm coming and I'm a little hoarse today because I just got off leading a trip. I did a lot of yelling on the water. So I do have the MSR WindBurner. This is my go-to for making coffee. It's really great for backpacking. Things I don't like about this, while it boils water really fast, all it can do is boil water. It's also very unstable. Once you actually put the stove together and then set it on top of your fuel, it's really tippy. And I can't cook in it. So it's great for boiling water and it's great for freeze-dried meals, but it's not so great for cooking for big groups. So what we've been using is the MSR, I believe it's called the WindPro. This is what it looks like. This is a very old one. This is a multi-fuel stove. So you can change out this adapter and it'll fit liquid fuel. We have it set up for canister fuel. And this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see. There you go. In the light. It's not very bright right here. So the things I like about this stove, it's got a little bit bigger burner. I don't know if y'all can see. It's a pretty big burner. It's probably maybe 3 inches in diameter, maybe 3.5. And where the fuel attaches is way over here. So the reason I love that is when we're leading sea kayaking trips, it's typically very windy. So I can put a windscreen right around just the stove. But if this were to be stacked on top of a fuel canister, the windscreen has to be more than a foot away from it in order for it to not build up too much heat and explode. So this enables me to get a windscreen really tight around the stove and be able to get it lit even in really high wind. It's also really low to the ground, which I like, so that it's more stable and less likely we're gonna spill boiling water. The only thing I don't like about it is how small the burner is, but this is one of the biggest burners on the market. So we actually cook food, so we need the biggest burner we can get. So that led me to the Franken Stove that I'm using. I've got it set up in one of the MSR, I think this is the stowaway pot or the seagull pot, I'm not really sure. I think it's 750 milliliters. So this is what I'm using now. And this is this holds the Franken Stove. I have a lighter. My fuel does not fit in here. So this is the Franken Stove in here. I'm using the bag the stove came in. In here I have, this is the GSI Glacier camp stove. This is the stove without the valve on it. It's the only way it'll fit it down into this pot. And you can see, one of the reasons I picked it is that the burner size is significantly bigger. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's a pretty big size difference right there. So this is a lot easier to cook on. The problem was that this stove, so the way this stove normally works is this is the valve. So here's the fuel canister that this would fit on top of. So you can see I have the same problem where if I put a big pot on here, and when we cook for groups, the pot is 2 or 3 times this size, all of a sudden it's very unstable. I also can't build a windscreen around it because my fuel source is right below my heat source. And if I build a windscreen around this, the heat's gonna build up and the stove's gonna explode. So my solution was to buy this guy. So this is made by MSR. It's a stove adapter. So it says that it only fits MSR stoves. That's not true. It does fit basically any canister fuel stove. So now I take my GSI stove and connect it to these feet. Now Oops, this board is not big enough, is it? So now I have a bigger burner that I can cook on, and it's set on the ground, so it's really, really stable. These feet are huge. They're even bigger than this stabilizer that's made by Jetboil. So if you look at these combined, ooh, the sun came out. Oh, it's so pretty. Let me show you. Look at this. It's so gorgeous out here. So now I have a base that's even more stable than it would be with this stabilizer. I have a nice big cooking surface that'll hold a wide variety of pot sizes without being in danger of tipping over, and I can actually cook real food. And because my fuel source is away from my heat source, I can build a nice big windscreen and really keep that stove from going out, and also keep it as efficient as possible, which saves me fuel. I've linked to all these products down in the description if you'd like to go get them. Thanks for watching.